And foreign correspondent Tom Soufi Burridge joins me live now from Jaffa, Israel, for more. Tom, I know you spoke to families of some of these 210 Palestinians freed from Israeli prisons. What are they telling you?
We spoke to two families, Diane, both the cases of two young Palestinian women, both arrested by Israel since October the 7th and the Hamas attacks. Israel accuses both of those women of supporting terrorism. The father of one of them told us that he believes his daughter was arrested because of social media posts in support of people in Gaza, or potentially even supporting some of Israel's enemies in the war. It's a complicated picture when it comes to the overall picture of Palestinian prisoners being released by Israel at the moment. Some of them are accused of more serious offences, some are accused of minor offences. The expectation is that more Palestinian prisoners will be released tonight in exchange for more Israeli hostages. Diane?
Meanwhile, Hamas says that it's behind that deadly shooting in Jerusalem that killed at least 3 Israeli civilians. How's Israel responding to that, and what kind of an impact could this have in the middle of a ceasefire agreement?
Well, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has already said this is Hamas in relation to that shooting incident this morning in Jerusalem. This is Hamas. This is the enemy we're dealing with. This is why, in his words, Israel is still committed to, in his words, destroying Hamas. I don't think that shooting will do the process in terms of exchanging hostages and releasing Palestinian prisoners any favours. I don't think at this stage there's any sign that it's going to derail it, but there's no secret really that there's a real lack of trust between the two sides. Of course, the Qataris, the Egyptians, the US to some extent pulling those sides together. The expectation is still that 10 Israeli hostages, we believe, and 30 Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli prisons will still be released tonight.
And Tom, more hostages and Palestinian prisoners are expected to be released. Is that still happening? Are there concerns that that could be off now?
Well, I think that the word from the Israeli, the Egyptian state media is that they are still hopeful that not only will the truce, the extension today, remain in place, but they are also pushing, according to Egyptian state media, for a further 2-day truce. And we were getting towards the point where potentially all Israeli children held by Hamas as hostages and all civilian women could be released at some point. And then we're getting into a more complicated process whereby Hamas and Israel are negotiating over hostages, potentially Israeli soldiers being held and men being held by Hamas, and those negotiations will be more tricky. Of course, also, then Hamas will be asking for men, Palestinian men, held in Israeli prisons, potentially for more serious crimes or allegations, to be released in return. So those negotiations, if we get to that stage, will be much more tricky, and the result will be much less certain.
All right, Tom Soufi Burridge in Jaffa, Israel, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.